All right. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously for everyone, but yeah, Meandering Mike was asking about my winter bike and whether or not I used special tires. Actually, I use a completely different bicycle. Reason being is, well, the forks for the normal bike just can't handle um, that width of a tire. So this is my normal summer bike, and oh my God, I just love this thing to bits. But you can see the comparative difference in tire, I hope. I mean, they're nowhere near. I think this is about 2.6 inches wide or something. Extremely well designed bicycle. Oh my God, I've had this for over 25 years now. The bike mechanics just love working on it. They're like, oh my God, it's an all steel bike. It's a chromoly bicycle frame. I actually am so naive, or I used to be. I still am actually naive about bicycles. The guy, when I purchased this bike, the guy's like, "Oh, you picked a really good bicycle," and I think I told him actually. I was like, I just bought it because green's my favorite color. It had absolutely nothing to do with the specifications or anything. But anyways, it is a sweetheart. I love that thing to bits. Yeah. And if it can, I mean, I'm going to ride it until metal fatigue basically collapses the frame or something. So I hope I can ride it until I drop dead. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, so why did I end up getting this bicycle? Over the years, I'm starting to notice that we're getting more and more icy days, and I was spending a lot of time, well, a fair amount of time, not with this bike. What I used to do is just go and buy a really crappy bike kind of thing and just get the widest tires I could find. I've never used studded tires until this year. This is the first time I've used a studded tire. I don't have a studded tire in the back, and there's a reason for this. It's because I can't afford this. Okay, for example, and I bought the cheap studded tire. There was a more expensive version of this. I think this one came to about a little over about $250 Canadian. Maybe a little more. I'll have to check the receipt. But I was like, thank God this thing's a bicycle. Jeepers jumping. Anyways, the guy told me, he's like, look, if you're going to get only just one studded tire, you should always get the front because that's the direction you're going to go in. Um, this is 4.6 inches wide. Anyways, I'll talk about the tire in a minute. So like I was saying, so I'd get off my winter bike and just walk when it got too slippery, for my anxiety level or my skill level or whatever you want to call it, just to feel safe. I often remind myself, and I've told Zoe this too. I'm like, where do I want to be at the end of the day? Couch or hospital bed? And couch wins every time. So, anyways, one day as I was walking my bicycle with, and it's slipping like this off to the side because of the ice, this guy just bicycles by like it was a summer's day on this fat bike. And I went, what the hell? And so I went to the bike store, but this is really early on. I don't know, it's maybe about 10 years ago or so. And so this bicycle was actually used. They let me test it out on the woods. Oh my God. I'm not kidding you. And you can drop the pressure down to about 4 psi on these suckers. And okay, you're super duper slow. But I was able to bicycle in between trees in the woods in the snow. Like as slow as you can walk, but I'm like, ding, 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 ding. It was incredible. I felt like a 12-year-old all over again. Um, Anyways, it was expensive. The next year, when I got to get this tuned up, trust me, every year I tell them the same thing. Just pretend it's your bicycle, and also I do not want to be walking my bicycle at minus 25-degree weather with a wind chill, up to minus 40. And I'm also dressed for bicycling, not for walking. I've told this to people too. If I feel warm on the first 5 minutes of my bicycle ride, I know I'm in trouble because that means I'm going to be really hot later on. So that means if I stop halfway and have to walk, I'm in a lot of trouble. So I tell the bike mechanics, like, I don't care how much money it costs, just get the effing thing, please. Like, I want it humming. This is the way I get to get around, man. And anyway, so we're just yet again getting more and more icy days. And last year, I was just like, I'm getting sick and tired of even with the fat bike tires and even letting air out. I mean, that's how you do it. And there's the other thing, the flip side. I'm also wearing knee pads and elbow pads now in the winter because 4 years ago or something, I had a wicked fall on that white polished snow that you can get after the snowplow goes by. And I was cheating because remember, this is rolling resistance with the tires. And uh, you can pump them up as much as you can to reduce the rolling resistance so I could get to, home quicker. And I just was just going to turn the corner and what? The whole bike just went. And my left knee slammed hard, and I'm not young anymore, so the healing powers aren't there anymore. It took me over 6 weeks until I couldn't feel any pain in my knee. And talk about embarrassing, man. Oh wow, it was good. It was a good humbling moment. There was a bunch of kids walking by, school kids, and they're like, "You should be more careful, sir." I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Yep, you're right, man." Anyway, so this is not a very well designed bike. Like I was saying, the next year when I went to go for the tune up, you could get a much better bicycle for like $800 less. I was like, what the F? And my bike mechanic there, Rory, at the time was like, well, Chris, man, like this is what happens is they start, the parts go down in price. Anyways, this is not a very well designed fat bike, and I'll show you why. The rear, well, lots of reasons why. The rear forks are way more narrow than the front. And so therefore, this is the extent to which I can go. I think these are 4.2s, and that's the extent I can go. These are 4.6, and I can still go maybe to 4.8. So that's not good. The tubing is all on the bottom tube here, like on the bottom part of the, like what the hell? So it collects a lot of crap here. And over here, this used to be mechanical disc brakes. But you'll see right in that spot, these used to be mechanical. I went to hydraulic. And there was an exposed cable bit there. Well, the water was getting in between the housing and the cable and then freezing up and locking up my brake. And I was like, well, then I'm like, I have to get to work or home. So I would disconnect the rear brake. Well, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a flipping brake, man. So, I just got fed up. So I've put a fair amount of, and like I said, every year I'm like, you know what? Like, I think this year it was about $650, but I think I've gone up towards $900 for a tune-up or something. And that's because I'm just like, take her apart. I want, it's the salt. There's also a thing called Salt Away, I think. Motorboat people or whatever use it, and I should really take a look into that. It can just wash it off. Luckily for now, at work, I'm allowed to go into the underground parking, and the property guy, he likes me. He says, "Hey, Chris, if you want to go and hose her down every day," I'm like, "Thanks, man." So I do it. And I also got indoor parking, so that's wonderful. But it's the salt and the humidity. It's just eats things alive. God, I'd love to make something out of stainless steel or brass or whatever. I don't know what things salt and water don't like, or eat as quickly. But that's about it. So like I said, this year's the first year I've gone with a studded tire. Generally, I find I don't know what it is about fat tires. I don't find them, for me, they don't seem to handle or maybe I just don't understand how to use them as well. They don't seem to handle very good for sharp corners as much. Another thing, of course, I had to adjust my riding style. The very first time I went to ride one to work, I had about third of the way there, and my heart was just jackhammering away against my chest, and I was like exhausted. I was like, what the hell is going on with me? And I was like, hello, Earth calling. It's not the same bicycle as your summer bike. Stop trying to bike at the same speed. And that's the other thing too. I can go and like we just had that wicked snowstorm there last week, and as soon as I saw it and cars spinning their tires and people barely able to walk, I was like, okay, let's let some air out and go for a bike ride. And it was super slow. It was actually this one person. She was wiping her snow off the windows, and she said, "Boy, if you hurry, maybe you'll make your destination tomorrow." But the thing is, I'm like bicycling relaxed and through the snow, no problemo. And the only other people that can handle it the way I could would be, if you're on snowshoes or snowmobile or skis. That's it, really. And it's a lot of fun. I think these bicycles actually were originally designed for surfing, to get your surfboard on, like, through the sand. And then someone clued in and went, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. So, okay. These, if you're going to, oh my God, well, of course, it's always down to style, but I wish I couldn't afford the Schwalbe Jumbo Gyms. The Jumbo Gyms for me, when I switched over, these used to be, they came with the V tire snowshoes, I do believe, way back when. Did not like them. They just not, I just found the handling pathetic for me. I was doing way too much fishtailing and a lot of other stuff. I was just like, no. I'm spending more time thinking about handling the bicycle than riding. And I was like, screw this shit. So I switched over to Jumbo Gyms and whoa, what a difference. That was fantastic. But this year, so this used to be a front Jumbo Gym, a 4.4. And I just couldn't afford. I just couldn't. They didn't have a 4.4 studded Jumbo Gym. I think you still can get one, but I couldn't get one at the time. And so they're like, well, you can go to the 4.6 or the 4.8 or whatever. And I was like, whoa, no, can't afford that, man. There's no effing way. So they said, well, you can go for the Dillinger. I was like, okay. I've heard good things about them, but it's still, I'd like to try the Jumbo Gym because I just like her. Or like those tires. Yep, that's about it, really. It's heavier than hell. But yet again, I've told people before, I've got to learn that speed is not something I want during wintertime. And yet again, even though Ottawa has tons of bike trails, and we do get them cleared, most of them during the wintertime, cars are still not expecting me on the road. So I'm always very, very, you know, let you do your thing. Like I said again, it's hospital bed or couch. So, yep, that's it. They make a lot of noise. I can tell you that much. That's about it. Yep. So I just take my time, and I'm hopefully not going to feel so anxiety ridden anymore about uh, you know. Bicycling on icy days or whatever. It doesn't mean I'm indestructible and all that. The same as like the bike mechanic guy told me when I started wearing knee pads and elbow pads. And he's like, I said, yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to be silly about that. Maybe I'll do another video. I'll try to figure out a way of maybe stopping on my way to work, and you can see part of the trail I go to, which is just lovely, especially when it's because I go to work very early in the morning, so it's pitch black, or you get the idea. So, okay, that's it. Bye.